y'all. Welcome to the Tammy Salamore Show, where we talk about a little bit of everything. That's right, we get into a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And today, we are going to get into the curious case of Natalia Grace, season 1, episode 2. We're going to be doing a watch along slash review, and before I get started, y'all know my channel is growing. It's trying to grow. I appreciate if y'all would just hit that subscribe button somewhere down there. I don't know what side it's on, but just hit it. Comment, like, share, do whatever it is to get your girl on the map. Okay, I really appreciate it. Okay, so we are going to get into season 1, episode 2, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, Natalia Grace is Natalia Grace Barnett is a Ukrainian-born American with dwarfism who in 2010 was adopted by an American family but was abandoned by them 2 years later. So, according to her adopted parents, Christine Barnett and Michael Barnett, Natalia Grace lied about her age and she tried to pretty much kill them. Okay? But according to Natalia, that ain't what happened. They abused me. I didn't try to kill them. So, excuse me, we're going to get into episode 2 to find out what is really going on. And I told y'all before in episode 1 that I was going to figure out a way that we don't have to watch the commercials. Oh, I think I figured that shit out. I think I figured it out. But we're going to see. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay? I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. I got 2 jobs. Um, Man, I walk out of my house at 8:30 in the morning. I don't come back to 11:30 at night. Okay? 2 jobs. 2 jobs. That's why I need y'all to subscribe. Please, I'm trying to eliminate one of them jobs. Help your girl out because I'm tired. I'm tired, but I'm here. I'm here with y'all. Okay. All right, let's go.
Wow. This new. Hi.
Early on with Natalia, she was doing as many things as possible to cause hurt or harm or mental distress to the entire family.
I've got my adopted daughter trying to poison and kill my wife. We have had her standing over my bed with a knife. She's clearly dangerous.
At this point, what do? We take her to the stress center. She's seen by a psychiatric doctor.
And so at this point in time, we had already begun asking mental health professionals for help, trying to find guidance, trying to figure out the right medication. And all we're told at every turn is
Nothing you can do about this. She is this. This doesn't go away. This doesn't change. And she can't stay at the stress center. She's yours. Take her home.
Okay. So she couldn't stay at the stress center, right? According to Michael, the stress center said there's nothing we can do. It is what it is. This is who she is. You got to deal with it. Isn't there medication for those kind of people? If something is really wrong with her, if she's a sociopath or whatever they call her or diagnose her with, isn't there medication for that? Why didn't you give her no medication if that was the case? This is why I think Michael lying.
But they did say, you can't let Natalia have free roam of the house anymore. You need to put a latch on the outside of her door. And anytime she needs food, bathroom, whatever's needed, you need to escort her through the house. You cannot let her freely roam your home anymore. At this point, we haven't done anything as a family for a long time. We can't go eat dinner together. We can't go to the grocery store together. We are always on guard for things. We don't do anything.
See, I couldn't live like that. There ain't no way in hell that I gotta lock this child in a room. First of all, that's abuse. You gotta lock this child in the room. You gotta escort her to the bathroom. Then you have other children. Who the hell is supposed to live like that? She would have to go. If this girl is what Michael says she is, she would have to get the hell out my house. I'm so serious because my kids come first. My kids come first. She would go back to. I would go get me another one from the warehouse.
So it's my son's birthday. Ethan, my youngest son, loved cows. So for his birthday, we find a place in Indianapolis that lets you milk your own cow. It's called Traders Point Creamery. We get inside and they say, we have some release forms for you to sign. Out there where the cows are is an electric fence. And you have to say, you know there's an electric fence there, and if you touch it and you get harmed, that you're not going to hold us liable. When they say that to us, Natalia's eyes lit up like a Christmas tree. Really? There's a scary fence out there, and I have to sign this? Happily signs away. It's another quarter mile from that building to where the fence starts. Everything's fine.
If this girl was 6, right? How can she put all that together? There's a dangerous fence. I got a sign. Like, she's a 6-year-old. What the hell does she know about? Oh, I got a sign for this. There's a scary fence. Like, she's 6. She's 6. I do not believe this dude. I really don't believe this dude. But I didn't live with them. I didn't live next door to them. I really don't know. But I think he's forcing it a little bit. That's just my opinion. I think he's forcing it a little bit. Oh my God, there's something I gotta sign. There's a fence up there. It's dangerous. She's 6. 6-year-olds don't carry on like that.
The moment we get within 10 feet of the fence, Natalia suddenly can't walk again.
Before we went on a walk on the trail, like my mom and Natalia sort of stayed back.
So Christine decides you're not going to ruin Ethan's birthday. Michael, you take the boys, you go on ahead. I will stay back here and I'll handle this. Myself, my 3 sons, we keep going. We keep going. We get about 40, 50 yards down, and I start hearing screaming. I turn and look. Natalia and Christine are in a physical altercation. It looks like Natalia's trying to pull Christine. Now, you might think, hey, she's a little person. How strong can she be?
Damn sure what I was thinking.
She uses her arms a lot. Push herself up on things.
Yeah.
She goes up the stairs using her arms. She's got guns that Schwarzenegger would be impressed with. She's very strong.
Y'all look, this ain't got nothing to do with nothing, y'all, right? But when I was a youngin', I would say like 10, 11, I used to break dance. Yo, I was a breaker. And guess what, y'all? This was my headstand. Bitch, this was my headstand. When I used to break dance, after I did my 1 2 1 2 1 2, this was it.
Push herself up on things. She goes up the stairs using her arms. She's got guns that Schwarzenegger would be impressed with. She's very strong. My wife is frail. She's got a degenerative disease called lupus. She's weak. I start to go back. Christine says, no, go. Okay. She wants my son to have his birthday.
Yo, punk. No, go. Like, he's such a wimp, bro.
We go. And me and the boys double time it.
Why not, as the man of the family, why not go and help your wife if you know this girl is the devil? Why not go and help your wife? If they're in an altercation, why not go back and help your wife?
We get a little bit farther down, and we hear the sirens. The second I heard the sirens, I thought Christine was dead. I think she's dead. And the police have arrived. Ambulances have arrived. And we can see Christine is there.
Christine's very angry, very upset.
Natalia's over with the EMTs. And Natalia had been trying to pull Christine into the electric fence. She'd been screaming out loud. How am I with language in this interview? Am I allowed to use words? You bitch, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you, you bitch. You're going to die.
You're fucking lying. I don't
Christine's
believe this
screaming
shit.
at them.
How the fuck this little girl would do? And now I'm not saying she couldn't put. I don't believe it. Y'all put down in the comments what y'all believe. Me personally, I do not believe this shit. I don't. How is this girl? Y'all see how this girl walk? How is she gonna pick up this big grown ass woman? Okay, with the Louis bag, pull her down and drag her big ass to the goddamn fence. All bullshit.
Needs to be arrested. She tried to kill me. She needs to be arrested. She tried to kill me.
We wanted charges. We wanted her arrested. She admittedly, to their face, when they came to the 911 call, said,
y'all didn't want her arrested. Y'all just didn't want her. Y'all didn't give a damn what happened to her. Y'all wanted her gone out of y'all house. We wanted her arrested. Y'all just didn't want her no more, and y'all couldn't give her ass back. That's what it was.
I'm trying to kill her. They made the distinction that their visual told them, hey, that's a little girl. She's not really trying to kill anybody. She's sick. We're going to take her to the hospital instead.
But they stated we're not going to press charges. She's going to get a mental health evaluation.
I think she was already in the ambulance by the time I'd come back. I was like, oh, well, I guess Natalia's mental health is clearly off. I guess it's good that she goes to the hospital. I felt a sense of relief, like it can be a little safer.
Christine and I said,
she has to go to a hospital long-term and get help. We didn't know how long. She can't come home until she's better.
When Natalia was in the state mental hospital, she was under 24/7 observation and care of 90 doctors, nurses, orderlies, therapists, etc. While she's there, she admits openly and freely that, yeah, I'm trying to kill her. And by the way, I'm going to tell you, doctors, and I'm going to write this in my journal, I'm going to kill the boys too. And here's specifically what I'm going to do to them. I am going to stab them with a knife while they sleep. I'm going to drag their bodies out of the house, and I'm going to put them underneath the deck out back.
Natalia drew this picture immediately after being admitted to LaRue Carter State Hospital.
Yeah.
It says,
I ain't laughing, y'all, but Natalia said, bye, Christine.
Bye as in goodbye.
She's not a kid. That's an adult. She was aggressive. She was very manipulative. She could be sneaky at times.
They acted like she couldn't speak English, but then she would talk to us in English, like when nobody was around. I remember she used to fight with the staff. We gave her an injection, her backside, obviously, and she was fighting. So one of the first things you notice is she does have pubic hair.
She was all adult. I mean, the clothing, the talk. I remember seeing how mature she was and how busty she was. Her clothing became very...
See, this is so confusing to me, y'all. If she's 6'7", because they only had her for 2 years, right? She came when she was 6 or 5. I don't fucking know. But she's between 6 and 7. She's not 8 yet. I think by the time she turned 8, she's already gone. These are adults talking about this girl. These are adults saying this is not a child. This is a big girl. This is not a 6 or 7-year-old. This is a big girl. Okay. This is why I'm so confused, y'all. This shit is wrecking my brain. Look at this picture. This is a teenage selfie. This is a fucking teenage selfie. I had teenagers, 3 of them. All right, let's get into it.
very revealing of her body, her breast. She talked about sex a lot. She was on the table, and there were a bunch of male patients there, and she was talking to them about being a boyfriend.
Natalia.
After a couple weeks,
We get a phone call from them. You got to come get her. Why? Well, they try to be really delicate.
If she's 6'7" and a half, and she's talking about boyfriend and what does she know about sexual encounters? Y'all think she was being SA'd before she got to the Barnett? Maybe. Because how would this child... Y'all help me figure this out, please.
Get with it.
Natalia was propositioning the men.
What are you talking about?
This isn't Charmin. No wonder I don't feel as clean.
Hurry up, Dad.
I'm trying. This cheap stuff is too thin.
Here's Charmin Ultra Strong.
You need help desperately. Your family's in danger. She needs inpatient treatment. Great. We are at an inpatient facility. That's fantastic. Can you help us? No. So, Mr. Barnett, the state mental hospital, the adult wing, most of the men there, they're not particularly good with children. And they're not particularly good with girls.
As time went on, her true colors really came out. Always lingering around the male patient. She talked about sex, and we used to have to tell her that's not appropriate. Do you recall her being very sexual? She was talking about dating them, wanting to have a boyfriend. They were excited. They were very excited. The language that she was using, with the males, I was shocked There was a mention of her doing sexual favors for money.
So after a month,
Natalia, I know you not sucking donkey for no money. Natalia, where did you learn that behavior? Oh my God, y'all, this is terrible.
They need her out of there because bad things are about to happen with all the men in the unit. Take her home. She's gonna kill us. Can't help you. The danger we've been in isn't going anywhere anytime soon, and it can't be controlled.
I'm Beth Karras. I'm an attorney in New York. I'm a former prosecutor. What hooked me in this case was just the strange story. She's had various diagnoses, the last one being sociopath. But in my opinion, there are questions, a lot of questions with this case. The fundamental rule in all investigations is that you follow the facts wherever they may lead you. There are some things that just don't sit right with me.
Did they cut
If
her?
she's actually threatening to kill them, you gotta go to the police. Christine and Michael don't call the police. But the neighbor, who is very concerned, does call Department of Child Services, who bring in the police in March of 2012. They get a report of child neglect of Natalia.
March comes. Christine and Natalia are having the who are you fight.
Christine wants Natalia to write down people she's lived with, places she's been. Tell us about people you've known.
And this night, Christine decides that the most effective way to make you tell me who you really are is you no longer have a bedroom or a bed.
Oh my God.
You sleep outside.
What?
Grab your blanket. You're sleeping on the back deck. Natalia's out there crying. Finally, like 3 hours into this.
Michael, you let this lady put this baby outside. If I was their neighbors, I would call the goddamn police too, because ain't no fucking way. You made her sleep outside. Oh man. Oh man.
Well, I tell Christina, I can't do this. I get up, I let Natalia in, I get her back to her room. One of the neighbors called CPS.
I would have did
So
the same
CPS shows up on the door, Child Protective Services, with a detective from the local police department. They come in, they've gotten this call, and we're neglecting Natalia.
The detective for the Westfield Police Department, within 10 minutes, takes a look at the surroundings, takes a look at the paperwork, listens to us speak for a couple minutes, and he immediately realizes he's not here to protect Natalia. He's here to protect my sons. He knows instantly they're in grave danger.
Detective Klaus.
He conducts an investigation. He comes back and visits us. He's got a picture of Natalia from when she was naturalized here as a U.S. citizen in 2008, when she first got here from the Ukraine. He's got her naturalization information, basic vital statistics, stuff like that.
Natalia admitted to Detective Klaus that she was told her new birthday at the orphanage in Ukraine. That new birthday being 2003. Another thing, Detective Klaus showed her a picture of herself from when she entered the country, but she did not recognize herself in the picture.
He's not 100% convinced the girl in the picture is even her. Another interesting thing he mentions to us is her height. 4 years ago, when she was naturalized, she hasn't grown a centimeter. I don't care what kind of dwarfism you have. If you're a 6-year-old, you still grow.
Yeah, you do.
He informs us he believes that her Ukrainian birth certificate is all bogus. Here's this business card to an attorney. You need to go to them immediately. You need to correct her age. What are you talking about? Correct her age? You can't just take an eraser to her birth certificate. I'd never heard of such a thing. It never even crossed my mind.
But you did it, though.
I just thought we have an adult who's masquerading as an 8-year-old, and that's what it is. So he explains to me, foreign-born children often have inaccurate birth records, and sometimes it needs to be corrected. This is our legal recommendation from the police department. We have it in writing from him.
So the only way to protect the entire family, I have to prove she's an adult and that
she definitely has a fake Ukrainian birth certificate. Christine and I, again, we reached out to the adoption agency. When we asked them, can you help give us contact information for her old family? We have got to find out what's going on here. They said, no, we can't.
The answer is always, it is a closed adoption. The other family does not want to surrender any information to you.
Because they know something.
It is not.
And that adopted agency, they know something too, because what they tell them before, you got 24 hours to come get this child. If not, we're going to give it to somebody else. 24. I think they knew something was up with this girl, because if Natalia acts like this at their house, and if this is who she is, I'm sure she act like that at the other people's house. Where did she act like that? I don't know.
Until I got a phone call from the secretary of the adoption agency a little bit later that day, and she said, I can't tell you where she's from, but check her luggage closer.
Really inspect those backpacks. So go upstairs in the house, get the backpacks out, start rummaging through it.
There was a little ID tag inside of her bag when we adopted her that had the original family's information on it.
What are their names? Gary and Diane Ciccone.
Elizabeth Ambers, Chief of Venice Police.
We know, according to records, Natalia starts her early life in an orphanage in Ukraine, but all the conflicts in this case boil down to Natalia's age. Is she a child or is she an adult? In 2020, a Ukrainian investigator went to track down Natalia's biological mother, Anna Gava, and found Anna Gava's sister, Tatiana.
Хотели с вами поговорить, если вам можно как эту всю. Хотели с вами поговорить, если можно, по поводу вашей сестры Анны.
Так она здесь не живет.
Да, мы с нам уже говорили. Мы хотели просто уточнить вопрос касательно ее дочери Натальи.
Наташа?
Да.
Наташа в Америке живет?
Да. Помочь там разобраться именно по-настоящему, что произошло.
Ну, что произошло? Оставила она ей туда-то свое время, а потом одни приняли, выбросили, другие приняли, бросили.
Так, не надо завидишь.
Алло, Ань, слышишь, тут приехали молодые люди насчет твоей Наташи. Они хотят там что-то с тобой пообщаться. Сейчас я им дам трубочку, пообщайся.
Аня.
Какие молодые люди? Что
Вы успокойтесь. Аня, нам надо просто...
That's her biological mom. Wait a minute. Oh, wow.
Аня, мы приедем, это долго...
И они хотят...
Они меня оставят в покое, оставят, блядь, когда...
Oh, that's her
Ну,
aunt.
поговори с ними.
Okay.
Я не хочу сказать,
That's
что
the
вы
aunt.
с
That's
17
the
лет
mom
такой
on the
довольно,
phone.
Аня.
This woman, Anna Gava, who is supposedly Natalia's biological mother, just said she's been going through this saga for 17 years. Well, she said that in 2020. Do the math. That means Natalia may really have been born in 2003, which is what she has said all along. And in 2008, Gary and Diane Ciccone from New Hampshire adopted Natalia. By 2009, it's possible that they found her behavior to be too hard to manage. I don't know, but the Sacones, it's clear they wanted to unload her. Closed adoption, giving virtually no information about her. They made a mistake, though. They left their identifying information on one of the luggage tags, so the Barnetts were able to track them down.
Within 6 months of getting her, they were taking her to little people conventions and trying to give her away under the table. Hey, you're a couple. You don't have a kid. You want one?
Michael, how the hell you know she was doing that? You got proof of doing that. How you know she was doing that shit, Michael? You don't even know these damn people. How you know that? She was taking her to little people convention, just trying to give her away under the table. Hi, you don't have a kid. Do you want a kid? Michael, how you know she was doing that?
They returned to the table for 4 months. I mean, extortion demand of $30,000. Family didn't have it. They returned Natalia back.
My name is Judith Irving, and I'm from a little town in Indiana. And I don't know what else to say. Okay, can we start over? I'm so sorry. Oh, Natalia. The first time I heard about Natalia, I actually received an email from Little People of America. Little People of America is an organization where people with dwarfism can meet and come together once a year, and we're there for each other. We help support each other. We're friends with each other. It's often where we meet our husbands or wives or our best friend. Little People of America told me that the Sacones had adopted a little girl. She has dystrophic dwarfism, and they're trying to find a home for her. When I saw her picture, it was like I instantly fell in love.
Wait, how you adopt?
This little girl, Natalia.
How do you adopt a child and then say we're trying to find a home for her? Nigga, you adopted her. Your home is her fucking home. What are you talking about?
She's meant to be my daughter. I heard she loved to dance and sing and be creative, and I was like, oh, she's just meant to be with me. Diane and her husband said, pay the legal fees and you can adopt this little girl. If I remember right, she told me that adoption costs from the Ukraine were around $25,000. And I find it kind of crazy that you would adopt a child and spend $25,000 and only spend a year with that child. So I find it odd. I don't know if there was a financial scam or not. My husband decided, I don't think we can do this financially. And I feel like if you're going to adopt, both parents have to be totally into it.
True.
But it broke my heart. So, sorry. It just, when I wasn't able to adopt her, I just wanted her to be happy. And then when I found out what happened to her, I was like, she wasn't happy. And that was what broke my heart the most, is that she wasn't happy. In my heart, Natalia is the daughter I never had.
Aww.
Once we told them that we couldn't adopt Natalia, they moved on really quickly to the next couple.
She looked like she would have been a good mom too.
My name is Robin Ferris, and this is my husband, Dwayne Ferris. Back in 2009, we received an email from the Little People of America asking us if we might be interested in a possible adoption of a little girl named Natalia. And she hooked us up with the adoptive mom, Diane Ciccone. She had asked us if we would cover her previous medical expenses. So right then and there, we started to get concerned. We thought it was some kind of weird scam, or, she kind of came across as a used car salesman of sorts trying to sell Natalia to us. So we said, heck no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to pay for anything that occurred in the past. And I think she harped on it a little bit, but then eventually she gave that up.
Another red flag that we were concerned about is why.
How you going to have these people pay for a pre-existing condition? Like, This shit is crazy. So they can't have her unless they pay for her condition or what's going on. This shit, these people fucking crazy. They say, yeah, we trying to get our fucking money back. We done paid $25,000 for this damn girl, and she round here acting crazy. Yeah, I want my goddamn money back, but I can't give her back to the goddamn Ukraine. So I'm gonna give it to one of y'all and get y'all fucking money. Try to get some of this damn money back.
Diane adopted her and so quickly wanted to basically get rid of her.
Weird.
We were concerned about her mental health coming from an orphanage in Ukraine.
So we did ask her if we could please have Natalia evaluated for a psychological evaluation to see where she stood on that. And Miss Diane said no. Why would someone, if they didn't have anything to hide, why would they refuse the psychological evaluation?
Yeah, definitely.
Them niggas wanted the Carfax. They was like, nah, give me the Carfax so I can know what the fuck we get into. They said, nope.
Shady, weird, definitely red flags. Mm-hmm. But I was still interested. I still wanted to pursue. Mm-hmm. So we're driving to this lake house in New Hampshire where we were meeting Diane and Natalia, and it reminded me of Camp Crystal Lake.
That's scary.
It was kind of spooky.
It do look scary.
He had some concerns because the driveway was super steep and it was gravel, and us, having physical disabilities just like Natalia, we were wondering, wow, how does she get up and down the gravel driveway? Because when we first saw Natalia, she didn't have shoes at all. She has these slippery braces on her feet. And if you're stepping on pebbles, it could definitely hurt your feet. So we were just really surprised she didn't have any shoes because you could fall down the driveway easily without the proper footing. But we thought that she was really adorable. She was about to turn 6 years old, and she definitely looked her stated age. But we really had a feeling that there was something bad going on. We're both Christians, and everybody, in our opinion, has God-given natural gifts, and one of his gifts is the gift of discernment. To the regular average world, it would just be more of a sixth sense or an intuition.
I have a really good lie detector, I guess. With Diane and Natalia, I knew that they were lying. She was withdrawn and quiet and didn't engage.
Yeah, she would look up first to make sure her answers were appropriate for Diane.
And then you asked her what the Ukrainian orphanage was like.
Oh, yeah.
And she gave an uncoached answer. It was obvious.
Yeah, she said it sucked.
It sucked.
And then Diane interrupted her and seemed surprised that she said that and said, oh, no, it wasn't that bad. You were fine.
It was almost like Diane had to give her approval to come out.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she said what she was coached to say, she went back in. I've never seen another person do that, even in movies.
Yeah.
Even in The Exorcist. It scared the out of me. I can feel evil when I come into a room. I couldn't really put my finger on whether it was the situation that was evil or Natalia. There was something wrong with her. And I think that's the first time I've ever completely trusted that intuition. Right then is when I made the decision that this was not going to happen. As hard as it was to make that decision, because I knew how it was going to affect you. And when I told you, I was like, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something wrong. When you called Diane to tell her we weren't coming back, and then the story just got crazier, and because she went ballistic on the phone. She was furious. I could hear her through the phone yelling, and so I was like, okay, we need to go, because no telling what she was gonna do. I mean, she went nuts.
Diane was mad. Diane said, "Get
Wow.
this goddamn
This
girl."
new shark.
Christine Barnett tried to contact me on Facebook not long after they adopted Natalia, and I wouldn't talk to her. And knew that things were not right. I don't know if she's trying to get me on her side or what she's trying to do. I don't know. But I'm not going to entertain even saying hello to her.
Yeah, good for you.
The Barnetts claim that Natalia had threatened them. So what even if she did threaten you? You're the parent. I'm a teacher. I have 600 students. Some of those are from really rough families, and I've been told I'm going to cut you up. I've been told I'm going to drink your blood. I've been told all kinds of weird stuff. But I'm not truly scared that that's going to happen. That child needs help. So you get that child help. So, yeah, I find actually being scared of a child when you're a full-size grown adult a little ridiculous.
That's right.
So I started posting on an adoption message board asking about if anybody had any experience. But Natalia, what was it, like a year later, that Michael Barnett emailed me out of the blue and said, I think we adopted the little girl you were talking about. And he started to say her name, Natalia, some other things. I was like, yep, that's her.
Yeah.
Christine, his wife, wanted to talk to you.
Christine and I kept in touch over Facebook Messenger for several years. It did seem like a lot of shady stuff going on. Michael and Christine Barnett, I mean, they lied a lot. They will do anything to get what they want. They'll lie about Natalia being violent. You just don't know the true Barnetts.
When Christine started telling us all these crazy stories, we thought, wait a minute. I mean, she's tiny.
Yeah.
These stories don't make sense. And so we started figuring it out that everything Christine told us wasn't the truth.
Christine was using me and Dwayne because if she could get us on her side, believing, that Natalia had issues, then she would feel justified in maybe getting rid of her. Michael and Christine Barnett not only lied to get her into their family, but they also lied to get rid of her. If they wanted to claim she's older than what she is, I mean, I don't know where they came up with that. That's just crazy. Like, who thinks of that?
Detective Klaus had told me,
We need to correct her age. This is our legal recommendation from the police department.
From my review of Detective Klaus's report, he had several conversations with the Barnetts. And unfortunately, due to his passing in 2015, it's impossible for us to confirm or deny the substance of any of those conversations. Detective Klaus wrote this email to Heather Wilson, Department of Child Services. I am attaching a picture presumably taken at entry into the United States. It appears she has baby teeth still in this picture. I'm also attaching a photo from August of 2010 where it appears she has adult teeth. It appears for all purposes of our investigation, she is a child.
A home study report was prepared about the Barnetts early 2010 by a licensed social worker. One section that I found very troubling, and it's the background information. The worker asked Michael and Christine if they had ever had any domestic violence or disturbances at home, and they've all said no. The state took their word for it, that they relied on the self-reporting. They should have gone to the local police to see if their names ever appeared, because they would have found domestic violence. In 2003, years before this home study evaluation. They're fighting. Michael's got Christine in a headlock.
What?
And he's pushed her. These are situations that are pretty serious.
Scary, you know, to think of what could have been and what all the evil, dark secrets are that we don't even know that are coming to light.
It really doesn't shock me that Michael and Christine have kept some of these family secrets secret. This is not the public persona they want to have.
Right.
Every now and then, Michael and Christine would be in the front yard arguing or fighting. Or I never saw anything physical. It was just the yelling and the screaming.
That's the real nosy name, y'all.
I felt sorry for Michael because she was degrading him and calling him a loser and a jerk. And I just was like, God, that poor guy. I've been fooled by thinking that they were the perfect family because I don't think they were the perfect family.
This is not the time for pretending that you've never done anything bad.
I didn't.
Look, you gotta stop the denial. I don't know if you realize you're doing it. You know that you have domestic violence in your past? This is why you should just get on medication.
What?
You just should, because it's gonna make you stop doing this crazy stuff.
I'd like to propose a toast to my family. Someday.
There were a number of allegations that Michael and Christine made about Natalia acting out in a violent way. Most of them happened within the home, but the bottom line is every incident was told from the Barnett's perspective. But the last one was different. The Traders Point Creamery incident had witnesses.
Chris, I worked at Traders Point Creamery as a herdsman from 2012 to 2015. So I had gotten a call that there was some crisis on the electric fence. Officers were called and that we needed to take them down to where the individual was. So I was under the impression that when we got down there that there was going to be a little person who was distressed, very emotional. When we get down there, the caretaker seemed to be the one who was the emotional one of the two. And the little person seemed to be more calm and rational about the whole situation. There was no mention of the caretaker being at risk or anything like that.
Natalia had been trying to pull Christine into the electric fence.
I knew he was lying.
She had been screaming out loud.
I told y'all he was
Bitch,
lying.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm going to kill you, you bitch. You're gonna die.
So I was there with the officer. I don't remember any of that being said. I don't remember there being any threats about I'm going to kill you or anything like that.
Didn't I tell y'all he was lying? Didn't I tell y'all his ass was lying? I knew it. I knew it. All that, I got to sign a paper. There's a dangerous fence out here. I knew he was lying. I knew it, y'all.
I just felt like the situation had kind of been overblown and was not really that big of a deal. Like, I have a fairly good memory, and I'm positive I would remember that. The biggest thing I remember is thinking that if I had to deal with the adult caretaker, that I would be really frustrated just because it felt like she seemed to be making the situation worse.
My name's Marco Stetler, and at Traders Point, I was a farm manager. I got a phone call from one of my employees saying, hey, we've got an issue. There's somebody on the walking trail. They're having a crisis. What should we do? Can you turn the fence off? Or is it dangerous? Was also the question. And both the answers, I should say, were no, it's not dangerous. And also, no, I can't turn it off because it's already off, I think. That section of fence isn't even on today because the cows were in a different part of the farm. And so my response was maybe a little callous, but mostly because the threat was so hollow.
I can't imagine taking a child's threats like so seriously. Being truly scared. Now you could take their threats serious, but we're not even super strong. We're dystrophics. So we have joint problems. We have all kinds of issues that would make it difficult for us to truly overcome someone. We don't have the capability of truly hurting an adult.
Exactly.
You know, unless, you know, there was firearms involved. But someone like me, I couldn't damage an adult. They could just hold me off.
If Michael's version of what happened at Traders Point Creamery is not true, that Natalia really did not try to push her into an electric fence and kill her, then it casts doubt on all the other allegations of Natalia's acting out that Michael and Christine have reported. I don't know, though, that anyone can get to the truth here because there are so many stories from everybody. For example, Michael's version of what happened here is not necessarily reliable.
See what his lying ass talking about. Look at he looked
At the
like
Traders Point incident, how did the police react? I don't know. My sons and I were out in the forest. When we saw the police lights had arrived, we still had a good mile and a half of running through a forest to get back on the path to get back up there. So by the time all four of us get all the way back up there, Natalia's already gone. The officer with her is already gone. I don't speak to the officers. I speak to my wife.
We keep going, get about 40, 50 yards down, and I start hearing screaming. I turn and look. Natalia and Christine are in a physical altercation. It looks like Natalia's trying to pull Christine.
In 2019, you seen all that.
Look, I don't know what the truth is, but this raises a question in my mind of whether or not Michael and Christine kind of orchestrated the Traders Point Creamery incident.
They most definitely
They wanted an outside incident where there would be, you know, some potential witnesses maybe, and she would be taken away for good this time.
Come on in. Natalia, I'm going to have you sit right there. Okay. So a couple things that I want you to know is that any filling is safe in this room. Okay? You know, whatever you disclose, you're not in trouble. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. The other thing that I want to ask you is, do you know the difference between a truth and a lie?
Yes.
What happened at the creamery?
We had gone to a farm and we all signed a waiver or whatever. And we was on a trail, but I didn't have good shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So my feet started really hurting and they was bleeding.
Oh my God.
And I threw up because I didn't eat for like a while. So I threw up and it was blood. I was really dehydrated. So I sat down. She sat down next to me on the grass because she told the boys to go ahead of us. And she was like, Natalia, you need to get up. I was like, my feet hurt. She was like, you need to get up. So I finally got up. She helped me up. Like literally, like I was down and I reached up and she helped me up. And then she fell and it was kind of close. So like I was trying to get up and she fell and I fell. And then I guess she thought I was trying to put her into the electric fence or whatever. Because, you know, they said don't go by that and stuff and all that. And so she called the police on that.
Did you want to hurt them?
No.
No.
The closer you look into this case and dig, the harder it is to know where the truth lies. Maybe there's more than one villain in this story.
I love to pick up the tab from...
Okay. So, that was that. That was really good. Y'all, I think Michael lying. Michael is lying. Christine is the goddamn devil. Christine don't need to have no children. No children need to be in the presence of Christine. Michael's a wimp. And Yeah, I'm still fucking confused. I still don't know what's going on with this little girl. I don't know if she's 6. Is she fucking 16? How the hell did she get this mature? How does she know about the XEF? How does she know about all this? I'm so confused. Y'all help me figure this shit out. So, thank y'all for joining me and watching Natalia Praise. I appreciate y'all again. Please, please, please subscribe. Yes, I'm fucking begging y'all. Hit the subscribe button, please. I'm trying to grow my channel. Come and talk with your girl. You will have fun over here. I promise. Please.